Hi, it's Kathy from Bishopstone Yarns, and I'd like to welcome you all here to this little bit of a December roundup of my crafting video. I have started this for the second time because I know there's this terrible glare on my glasses, and I guess the only way I can get rid of it is kind of have my head tilted at a strange angle. Tried closing the curtains, that didn't really seem to help. So I'm sorry, I hope you can kind of bear with it. If I'm kind of like doing strange things with my head, you'll know why. Just trying to otherwise it's just too dark in here. I had the curtain closed with the light on. That didn't seem to work. Anyway, hello everyone. It's December. It's the last day of December. So I thought I'd better just kind of jump on, let you know what I am up to with my crafting. Yes, so for those of you who are new here, I'm Kathy, and this is the Bishopstone Yarns podcast, and I am coming to you from Tasmania, which is the little island south of Australia. And I am coming to you from the corner of my studio. And for those who've been watching for a while, you can see behind me things have changed a bit. I have finally got around to buying some bookshelves. I end up getting 3 bookshelves. So one of them is here behind me, and so this bookshelf used to be over here. I have moved over to this wall. I've put this white one here. I've got another bookshelf with some shelves just over there next to my loom, and then of course I have got a cube bookshelf which doesn't go in my craft room, which is actually upstairs with all of my Agatha Christie and interesting kind of like crime gothic books upstairs in that one. So totally unrelated to craft, but I am slowly trying to move things around and get things slightly more organized, trying to use as much of my wall space as I possibly can in the craft room and try and get things into drawers on shelves instead of being in boxes on the floor. Not easy. I mean, I'm sure everyone is with me on this one. Everyone who crafts and who does multiple types of crafts, we have got, there is so much crafting stuff, and each type of craft has its own crafting paraphernalia that comes with it. I'm trying to put everything so it's all together in the same areas. I still have a sewing table which I can't fit in my studio. My studio does not have regular walls. Well, regular walls. 3 of my walls have full-size length windows in them. So I cannot really, well, I could put something against them, but I'm not able to put bookshelves up against those walls because I want the light and the sun to come in. So that leaves me only very few walls that I can put bookcases against, and because of that, my room is not square shaped. It is an unusual, I have no idea what you would call it, but it's a different shaped room, and so trying to fit everything in sometimes in an orderly fashion is not particularly easy. So I'm still playing around with how I'm going to bring my other sewing table in here. I do have one sewing table over this side, and I don't know, maybe that sewing table just needs to stay where it is at the moment, but it would be nice to have everything together in the same room. But I digress, don't I? Okay, so getting back to what I was talking about, this is the end of December. Oh, and for those viewers who are regular viewers, hi, welcome back. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy the video, please do give me the thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, because, just lets me know that you're out there and you're watching. First thing I am going to start with, which is nothing to do with what I have been baking, but I have... For those of you who have been following on for a while will know that I just recently got back from a month travelling around on the mainland of Australia. And while I was there, I went to visit my mother-in-law, and she gave me this lovely crocheted square, which she had made a long time ago. It's in cotton. I don't know how best to show it so you can see the beautiful pattern on it. So yes, very nice. Given it a good wash, and I haven't blocked it, but I did try to kind of like just stretch it out while I was drying it, since it's cotton. But look at that beautiful patterns in there. Aren't they just gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. So just thought I'd show you that, and that's going to sit there. I have been cross stitching, so all through December. So if you want to see some more photos or find out some more about this, you can find me on Instagram as Bishopstone Yarns, and you can find me on Ravelry as Bishopstone, and you can find me also sometimes well, I'm always there, but I don't always post on Blogger or Blogspot as Bishopstone Yarns. So yes, so all through December I have been stitching on my Christmas cross stitch. Sorry for the crunching. I was going to show you what I've got, but I just have to get it out of the packet. Just trying to find the... Here we go. I didn't have it in order, so I wasn't able to show you. So I have been working on my Plum Street sampler, the pomegranate Santa. Oh, you guys will be getting so sick and tired of seeing this, but in December, up until the Christmas Day, I had been posting every day on Instagram how much I had done of my little cross stitch here. Let me just see if I'll show you where I am up to. So this is how much I have got done so far, and what I'm working on at the moment is the white section down here with the reindeer in it. And I have to say, if I do a little close-up of this, yes, if you can have a look, that white, it's well, not my favorite. I mean, I quite like the look of it, but cross-stitching it kind of white on just off-white is not really enjoyable in the way that it's okay first thing in the morning when I've got good light, but of an evening I found it really difficult to do this cross stitch easily, to like find the holes, and it does seem to be going on and on and on for a long way. Don't know if you can see here on the picture, there are quite a few reindeer down there, so I've got a few more to go. I've still got the sleigh with the Christmas tree in it to go, but I'm leaving that to a little bit later as a bit of a reward for finishing all this white down here, which I will be really happy when the white is finished, because I do feel like it's just, yeah, going on and on and on. But anyway, I mean, I have been enjoying it, and I do like December, and I do like the fact that each morning in December I do start with my cross stitching, and I find that really enjoyable. And it does help me quickly get through, or at least kind of start a Christmas themed cross stitch and work a way through it, especially with something that's, I shouldn't say is big, but I mean, there's quite a bit to this cross stitch, considering that you've still got a sleigh and a Christmas tree to go here. So it's not a small cross stitch by any means, but at least the bulk of it is going to be done by the end of today, which is the end of December. So yeah, but I do like it. I really like it. I used mainly the called for colours, but then like in DMCs, but then I did just add in a few different colours that were my own as well. So what else can I tell you? Oh, and for Christmas, my son the same one who made me my, hold on, and I'll go and show you. Hold on. Okay, back again. Right. So my son, I've got a couple of sons and a daughter. My son that made me this beautiful Bishop Stone Yarns logo up here also got me for Christmas a Plum Street sampler called Rest a While, which is this one here with a fox, and I guess they're flowers. Are they autumny flowers and nuts and things like that? Yes, so really, really like that. Will I get that finished before autumn in 2026? I don't think so, but who knows? I might start it. Anyway, whoops. So, yes, I'm not even quite sure what the size of this will be. It calls for 36 count. Just wonder, I'm not even quite sure what I've got. I am actually kind of starting to think that I would like to cross stitch some things on some slightly bigger linen than what I have been using lately, because like I was saying, it's easy to cross stitch those of a morning, but it's fun. I'm finding it a little bit harder of an evening to cross stitch when they're quite small. But anyway, so I have this beautiful cross stitch here to do. I also got a gift voucher from my daughter for one of the cross stitch shops down here, so I'm hoping to go along and buy some winter themed cross stitch, kind of smaller pieces maybe for winter, so I can put those up as a winter decoration. Yeah, I'm just gonna have just having an Earl Grey tea, because, you know, I don't know why crafters seem to talk about their tea quite a bit and what kind of tea they're having. But I've just recently got home. We've just been down to the wharf in Hobart. It is the end of the Sydney to Hobart race. Like every year on Boxing Day, there's a race that goes from Sydney, yacht race. This is like world famous yacht race. It goes from Sydney in Australia and ends in Hobart. And well, this year is the 80th year of the yacht race, so it's been going for 80 years. And as a child, we lived very close into Hobart, and so where we lived, we could actually see the boats come up the Derwent River. We could see the finish line, and it was always a big part of our childhood. And my parents always took us down to the wharf to have a look at the boats when they came in. And even though I am not a boating person, I'm not a boaty kind of, no, not really me. I still love going down to have a look at all the boats. I think this year they had about 125, somewhere around 125 boats enter. I think about 40 pulled out because the weather was really terrible, windy, not very good. So quite a few boats had pulled out. And for those of you who may have seen any of my photos or have looked at my blog, on my trip on the mainland just recently, I went to Eden, which is one of the last port where a lot of boats on the mainland, where a lot of the Sydney to Hobart boats who retire early, either due to, say, illness or of the crew or damage to the boat or whatever reason, they kind of call into Eden. So if you're interested in having a look at that, you can go on to Bishop Stone Yarns blogspot and have a look. I think I've got a photo of the port there. I wanted to stop there to have a look at the port because I'd always heard about Eden. They always stopped at Eden, and I always thought it sounded like such a lovely place. Eden. Yes. So, yes, so I've just been down to the wharf. We've just been down walking around, having a look at all the boats. Hopefully I'll put in some footage at the end. Very hard to get footage down there without getting people. There were just so many people it's a big tradition, and a lot of people, there are cruise boats in, so, and locals and family and friends, and just lots of people go down to the wharf at this time of the year to have a look at all the boats. There's also a food festival that goes on as well, and of course tonight is New Year's Eve, so very busy time down the wharf, so very hard to get footage without people. Well, had people walking in front of me and talking, and anyway, I think I might have managed to get maybe a few little snippets without anybody in it, so hopefully I'll be able to pop something in there at the end. But so had, what else? Well, so what our tradition used to be, we used to go down there of an evening with the family and get fish and chips, and then stay around for the fireworks. Well, now there are no kids at home. Two of the kids are off at festivals this year. One's living on the mainland, so I thought we'll go in for lunch. Lunch will be a lot easier, even though I do love watching the fireworks. It's just so much easier. Go in for lunch, look at the boats, have a nice time, come home, enjoy New Year's Eve at home. And so that's what we did. But does mean, has left me a bit thirsty, especially I think maybe from the fish and chips, maybe just from the fun of seeing all the boats. So if you just bear with me, I'll just have another drink, and then I'll talk a bit more about craft. Just enjoy my beautiful picture there for a minute. I suppose I should also say this little mini quilt here, you can see this one. That is a, I was going to say Kathy Daly, is that her name? Kathy Daly Mini Quilts. I think that's, is it Daly? Oh, I'm going to have to look it up and try and put it in the show notes. But yeah. So I had fun making that. I actually would like to make a few more of these small quilts because they're small and they're quick and they're fun. And I was just thinking, well, you can't see the wall, but I do have a bit more of desk over here with another bit of wall space, which I would like to have put a railing up where I could put some small quilts like this one, and maybe some even slightly bigger quilts if I find some. Right, yes. Now, I will also put a little bit of video probably in here at the end of the Christmas material that I bought, the Tilda Christmas material. I have talked about that before and shown you that I was going to make some hexagons and make into a table runner. Quilt as you go, because I haven't done quilting as you go before, so I thought I would have a go this time with doing some quilting as you go and join them as a table runner. So it'll either be a table runner or a wall hanging, or I guess it could be either, couldn't it? But I'll wait and see. But what I have worked out is, so this is the kind of the set. I haven't got all the pieces here, so you end up with a hexagon shape, and then you end up with an extra hexagon shape, which is kind of a seam allowance. But what I have worked out is that this is not a shape this is a smaller size, which I haven't used. So this is a 1 1/4, and it gives you a 1 1/4, quarter inch seam allowance, which I thought would be enough. I don't know why. Anyway, so there's the shape size. So you can cut around this for the front piece of the material. You fussy cut that, and then use this to cut your backing piece. What I have done is I have made this backing piece and added a 1/4 inch. So that has given me 1/2 inch extra on the backing fabric than this kind of fussy cut shape. But I've also still worked out that actually I think it's still a little bit too small, as in it's a really tight seam allowance, even with a 1/2 inch, because you have to fold it over and then fold it over again to attach it to your front piece. I find it's still very fiddly, and I think this would be great if you were trying to cut something out and you just needed to use it with a sewing machine and you wanted to sew a 1/4 inch around here. Fantastic, brilliant. You could just sew them together and then not have to worry about fussy cutting them. But that's not what I did. I didn't, and I cut a whole heap of these out before I had actually worked out that it was going to be too small. Well, not too small, just incredibly fiddly is the word. So they're my little internal pieces, which I've shown you before. So they all, oh, there we go. They all have a little different little motif, and I was trying to get the wreath in there as well, and that was a little bit difficult because I found that the motif sizes and the size of the hexagons were not all the same. So just show you what I have done. I have made 3 so far, which doesn't sound like much, but considering how fiddly they are, I thought I've done okay. So here's my first one. This one is little soldier. I quite like him. And then I have a sheep. Beautiful, isn't it? It's a lovely Tilda material. And this one is a pig. So I really, really like the pieces. Really love them. Think they will look lovely as... Can you imagine those all together? So I have this both in this green material and in the red material, and I had thought about interspersing, you know, one green, one red. But if you can see what I'm talking about here with my edges here, and this already has its batting in there. So this is already quilted, it's already, and now all I have to do would be to join the pieces together. But I do wish that I had made this border larger. Would have been a lot easier to fold over, just I think all round. Even though I do like the look of the thin border, I think it would have been so much easier and less fiddly to try and fold the whole thing over. Even so, it also was very difficult. I tried ironing it as well and then trying to fold it over, and that didn't really help me at all. So anyway, I am slowly working my way through these. Do wish that I had made the backing pieces slightly bigger, but I mean, I've already cut out a whole number of these, so I don't want to waste them at all. So I'll just use those, see how we go. Yes, so that's what I've been working on over December. What else can I say? Does mean that I have ended up with a little jar here of leftover pieces, which hopefully I can use up. Well, of course I will. I'll find something to use these for later. But it has given me a lot of leftover pieces after cutting out the hexagons. Yep. No knitting. Well, I finished off my socks in December, so, but apart from that, so I finished off my socks. I haven't started any new knitting because I've just been working on the sewing and the cross stitch. And I think what I might do is in early January, I will make a video and talk about what my plans are for 2023 crafting wise. But at this moment, I am thinking 2023, I'm going to, before I even say it, I'm smiling. I'm going to try and work my way through a couple of patterns that I already have for knitting. I've got a couple of jumpers. I have some wool that I've already bought for jumpers. So hopefully I will make those. Hopefully I will work my way through some other. I have a couple of kits, sewing kits, sewing patchworky, quilting kind of kits. So I'd like to work through those without buying any more material. So just using the material I have to make those. I have cross stitch. I have one more cross stitch pattern. Ooh, where is it? Over here in my little box. So I still have one. I've got a Christmas cross stitch, which I can do at Christmas. Anyway, we will talk about it in January. I will talk about it in January. What I will do though, here at the end of this, I'll just pop in a little bit extra of my last minute Christmas kind of videos that I've got, a little bit of the boats, and I'm going to tootle off. And yes, I hope everyone has had a very good December. I know December itself, for some people, especially in Australia, has been absolutely horrific, and we are now, you know, dealing with a new normal. And even though I feel like I'd like to just mention that, I don't want to dwell on it, and I don't really want to talk about that too much. But I hope that everybody has got through December okay, because I know December is not an easy month for a lot of people. I hope for those people who do craft, that your crafting has given you a little bit of joy in December, and you have found a way through craft to find some joy and to enjoy this month and this time of the year. And whether you're in the snow or in the sun, I hope you enjoy the weather that's around you at the moment. Anyway, I'd like to thank everyone once again for joining me. And you know, if you like the video, please do give me a like and a thumbs up and a subscription or whatever. That would be lovely. Leave a comment. I wish everybody a really great and safe new year. And I'll talk to you in January. Bye.
I know them.